I'd like to call to the podium District Attorney Richard Brown. The minute I met him tonight, I told him I was innocent. He said, it doesn't matter. I have no jurisdiction here. So I was very relieved. But anyway, Richard Brown, District Attorney of Queens County, will present the Distinguished Leader in Education Award to Michelle Anderson, Dean of the CUNY School of Law.
In my next life, I'm going to come back as a 6-footer. As some of you may know, CUNY Law School came into being at a time some 30-some-odd years ago when I was counsel to Governor Carey. And during that period of time, I've been fortunate to watch it grow and participate in its growth over the years. As a matter of fact, I was chatting earlier with Chancellor Goldstein, and I was reminded of the fact that CUNY Law School was a dream of one of the Chancellor's predecessors, Joe Murphy, who was then the president of Queens College. And as a matter of fact, I recall at the governor's request going over to Vermont, where Joe was at the time the president of Bennington, and offering him the chancellorship. And he was there a much too short a period of time. He unfortunately died at a young age. But in any event, I've had the privilege through the years to serve as a member of the law school's Board of Visitors. I served on at least 2 search committees for deans, Charlie Halpern initially, and thereafter Hayward Burns. And beyond that, I've had a number of graduates who have served as assistant district attorneys in my office, so I'd like to think I have some insight into the law school's unique orientation and its mission, its many accomplishments over the years. The law school, which is our state's only publicly funded law school, is nationally recognized as a pioneer in modern legal education. It was founded under the motto of law in the service of human needs, and it's been doing exactly that with 3 basic principles. First, it recruits students from among those who are long underrepresented in the legal profession, students such as minorities and women and older students seeking a legal education after having spent time working in other fields. Secondly, it attempts to develop an entirely new approach to legal education with emphasis on clinical training. And thirdly, it trains and prepares students for careers in and commitment to public service and public service law. The law school has succeeded in remarkable fashion in attaining these goals. Under Michelle's leadership over the course of the last 5 years, it's become a premier public interest law school in the country. It's launched a generation of talented, well-trained, and passionate legal advocates who are doing outstanding public service work throughout the nation. It's among the law schools with the highest percentage enrollment of minority students. It is the #1 producer of public sector lawyers in New York State. Some 70% of its graduates are employed in public sector positions. Each year, U.S. News and World Report's annual survey of American law schools ranks it within the top 10 of schools in the country for clinical training programs. Michelle, over these past 5 years, is herself a leading scholar. She's a respected teacher, progressive innovator, and a very capable administrator. She's overseen the continuing growth of the law school during her tenure as dean, and she's had significant success in both promoting academic achievement and in fostering creative new programs. In September of this coming year, of next year, I guess, it's 2012, Michelle will lead the law school on a rather exciting journey as it begins its first semester in its new home on Court Square in Long Island City. The new location will provide more classrooms and study space. It will be easier for students to get to, and it will offer amenities such as an expanded child care center, an auditorium, a moot courtroom, all of which will greatly enhance the law school experience. So having said that, I think you can understand why I'm so delighted to Ms. Michelle's presenter this morning. Terrific work she's being recognized for today. And with that, I'm delighted to have the opportunity to present her with your distinguished legal registration of the award. You want to get up here with me?
Thank you. I'm afraid if I stand up on this thing, I'm going to be... I am 6 feet, and it's not all it's cracked up to be, Judge. I want to thank you, Judge Brown, for that generous introduction. And I really want to thank everybody in this room. I particularly want to extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Pola Rosen and Education Update for this award. I accept this award not for myself, but on behalf of the CUNY Law School community, and even larger on behalf of CUNY, the CUNY family. I am well aware that the relationship between CUNY and Education Update is a very strong and self-sustaining one, mutually sustaining one for both institutions. Chancellor Goldstein gave a few remarks earlier this morning, and I just want to say that he has led CUNY on a renaissance. He's an extraordinary leader, and I am privileged to serve under his leadership. I want to congratulate the 2 other honorees, Jeffrey Canada and Terry McGraw. It's a real honor to share this award with you. And both of you are so gifted and dedicated. In my professional life, I'm blessed to be the Dean of CUNY Law School, and this is my 5th year serving the institution. But I am mindful that I am the last speaker in this part of the celebration, so I just want to give you a few brief moments about CUNY Law School, tell you all a little bit about it. I realize that I've got an incredible audience for that. You are all extraordinary educators. You know the most gifted students in the city, and I want them to come to CUNY Law School if they want to be attorneys. I think there's a good reason they should. CUNY Law School is unique in the legal academy. It has a unique and important mission. Our mission is twofold. It's to graduate outstanding public interest and public service attorneys, and also to help diversify the legal profession, to help it better reflect the extraordinary diversity of New York City and New York State. We aim to be an access institution to provide keys to the profession for communities that have historically been locked out. And we aim to increase diversity in the profession and to populate it with lawyers seeking justice above personal gain. Our motto, law in the service of human needs, infuses everything we do. Percentage-wise, we send more students into public interest and public service practice than any other law school in the nation, and it's by a large margin. Because of our extraordinary track record in this area, Pre-Law Magazine has named CUNY Law School the #1 public interest law school in the country. And there are only 2 law schools that received A+ grades in that ranking, CUNY Law and Yale. And I'll tell you, as a somewhat scrappy public institution, it was a very sweet reality to be ranked above Yale as the #1 public interest law school in the country. Our graduates, because of the program, our graduates end up working in underserved communities throughout the city, and they focus on immigration, housing, other areas of crucial need, criminal justice, discrimination. They focus on these areas. And to educate these outstanding advocates, we have an innovative pedagogy that has been recognized by the Carnegie Foundation for the Advancement of Teaching as a model for legal education. Our philosophy is that abstract knowledge cannot be divorced from practical skills. And so our approach integrates theory and practice in everything we do. Now, to many of you in this audience, you may think, well, that seems intuitive. I'm an educator. I know that you need to integrate theory and practice in the work that you do. But this philosophy runs counter to the dominant pedagogy of law school education developed in 1890 by Christopher Columbus Langdale, who was a professor at Harvard Law School, who developed this idea of the case method, which is the signature pedagogy of law school, where you study written dispositions of appellate courts. It's very abstract. It's very demanding. It involves the Socratic method. And in addition to doing that, at CUNY Law School, on day one, we begin with practical lawyering skills as well. And these lawyering skills develop throughout the first and second year in lawyering seminars, small group practice work where students engage in mediation work, how to write a letter to a client, how to navigate and interact with opposing counsel, how to present yourself in a court of law. All of these practical learning skills begin on day one and then culminate in the third year in a clinical program. And as Judge Brown mentioned, U.S. News & World Report ranks CUNY Law School as the number, within the top 10, it's always been ranked in the top 10 of law schools for its clinical education. This year we're ranked number 3, which I think is just terrific. We also have an amazing faculty. The Princeton Review ranks the law school faculty in the top 10 in the nation. There are about 180 law schools, just to give you a sense of what that means and how terrific it is for us here in New York and for us particularly in CUNY. Additionally, they are tremendously diverse. They're in the top 10 for diversity for law school faculty. So we try to practice what we preach and in terms of what we do for diversifying the legal profession. It's really a testament to the public servants like Judge Brown, who helped found the law school. It's a testament to the public servants here in New York that we have developed a law school devoted to the public interest and to public service work. And I just want to say that I'm very grateful to be able to serve that institution and to serve the state of New York. And I accept this award on behalf of CUNY, and thank you all very much for this recognition.